Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Profit Minus channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a secret 100x altcoin in my portfolio. But before we start, as always, remember to like this video if you find this type of content useful and subscribe with notifications on for more content like this. So yesterday on Involio I asked this question: what video do you guys want me to do first? The 100x altcoin reveal video, which I anticipated on Involio. So guys, make sure that you follow me on Involio if you haven't already, because that's where you can keep up with me and always know the latest scoops before you get it on YouTube, okay? So I asked you guys if you wanted to have my altcoin reveal video or some new OTA, and most of you guys, it was actually pretty squared, but most of you wanted this altcoin. So here I am. I'm going to be providing this altcoin to you guys. But before I start, on the last video I told you that you guys can join the waitlist to join my private community, which is Profit Magnets. This is probably going to be the last time that I tell you guys about this waitlist, because after this video most likely the time will be running out. I've also revealed the day the community opens up again, and you don't want to miss it. The only way that you're going to know all this information is by joining the waitlist. You're going to find the link in the description of this video. It's probably going to be the first link that you see, which is going to take you to this form. Once you put your email and the name, you're going to be getting an email. Make sure that you check the spam folder if you don't see it in your inbox, because sometimes it gets flagged as spam even though it's not. So make sure that you guys do that. So the altcoin that I'm talking about is Velo. So in this video I'm going to go through the technicals of Velo, why I'm super bullish on this project. I'm not going to be talking about the fundamentals, the team and all of that. If you guys want that type of information, make sure that you watch this video by Crypto Canvas. Let him know that Profit Magnets has sent you in the comment section if you want. But essentially all you need to do is search up on YouTube the Ripple XRP of Asia Velo Part 1. He also made a Part 2. So make sure that you check out this video if you guys want the fundamentals, you want to learn more about the project and why I am overall so bullish. But in an effort to make short form content for you guys and content that is not as long as it used to be before, I'm not going to cover that information on this video. I'm just going to tell you what I see in the charts and the best approach that you can take right now if you want to take a position into the token. So let's go back into the website of Velo. And one thing that I wanted to show you is that this project, I'm pretty sure that most of you have never heard it, and that's why you should probably, and of course it's never financial advice, but taking a part in a project when nobody talks about it is probably going to be the token that eventually makes you the most money and most returns overall during this next Altseason, because by the time people talk about it, it's very likely already too late. So this is what I like to do. I like to find the tokens that have the most utility and also very good stats. And just look at the partnership that they have. And by the way, they are listed in quite a few exchanges, so it's not like on KuCoin or just MaxC alone. You can actually get the token on quite a few exchanges. And look at the partners. We have Visa right here. We have Stellar, which is XLM, partnering with Velo. And of course, they have a lot of strategic investors in this. And it's overall a very solid project. Then I want to show you guys the coin market cap page for Velo. As you guys can see, the market cap is very little. Just today, because the price has moved, it has jumped up to 60 million. In my group, the Profit Magnets, we got in basically around this year when the market cap was around the 20 million, if I'm not mistaken. So we are up quite a bit. My position is currently up around 120%. And of course, I'm not selling. I'm not selling because I'm looking for higher targets for Velo, and I'm going to show all of that during the analysis. But you guys can see It's currently sitting at position 609, so it's not on the top 10 yet, it's not on the top 200 yet. And when you actually watch this video and understand the fundamentals and how it works, you will understand how likely it is for this token to be ranked up quite high very soon. So it's definitely a hidden gem that not a lot of people are talking about. So you guys can see all the markets where you can get your velos. Now let's go onto the chart. Okay, I want to show you guys why I'm so bullish, and the first thing that I'm going to show you is that look how much upside the coin has. Okay, when you zoom out, we are basically still at the bottom, right? Today alone, it has jumped up by 30%, maybe even 32% if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 32%. But when you go on the monthly, you understand that the upside on this token is still very much crazy. And when you add the fact that the market cap is very little, and the meme coins with no utility, like dog with fat, stuff like that, are like $1 billion of evaluation in terms of market cap, you understand how much upside Velo currently has. So the first thing that you want to see is that the coin is pretty much at the bottom. Okay, so this is a very good chance for you to possibly get in, and I'm going to tell you what I will do if I don't have any Velo right now. Okay, and of course the coin has jumped up by 30% today, so I don't want you to FOMO buy. I am not trying to show you guys anything that I wouldn't be buying myself. But even though I will buy this, I'm going to show you why you want to be careful, and I'm going to tell you by the end of the video which approach you should be taking. So make sure that you stick until the end, make sure that you subscribe with notifications on, comment down below your thoughts, like the video, share it with your friend. Guys, the more of you that actually do this stuff, the more coins I'm going to give you. Okay, so make sure that you do all that. You can share on social media, do everything that you want. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you on the weekly, it's this trend line right here. And I'm a very picky person when it comes to technical analysis. I try to be as precise as possible. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things that I'm currently seeing right now. The most important and crucial thing that I'm seeing right now is that when you take it from wick to wick, right, we have the first, well, currently the second, I would say, right, the second hit of this trend line, assuming that the first one is this point right here, right? And we are currently missing potentially another third return into the trend line. So this is obviously very good news for anyone that wants to accumulate Velo, because that will give you the chance to potentially, assuming that we do it this week, which I don't believe it's necessarily the case and realistic, but assuming that we do it this week, that will probably be like a 57% drop back to 2560, which obviously will put you in a very good position to accumulate your Velo. But of course, the more time passes by and the more the trend line rises, so by next week we're already looking at 2600 and so on. You want to take this approach to understand where the bottom is likely going to form on Velo. But we also need to notice that there is a bunch of trend lines that have actually fulfilled. For example, if I take it from this point right here, from this week to body, what do we see? We see that the third rejection of the trend line has actually come in during this point right here. So potentially we already bottom out, okay? And this is, again, allegedly, by what I'm saying, there is a possibility that we have actually bottomed out. But we also have these trend lines right here that also suggest a very similar thing. So you guys can see, we initially broke below, now we have broken above again, found support above the trend line, and we are now continuing to the upside. So there is a possibility, right, of this actually just keep on moving up. But what I see is that we also need to fulfill this trend line. And you want to fulfill this trend lines to the downside as quick as possible, right? If you want to really leave this area of price and actually start to look at the upside targets. So you want to keep in mind all this information. We also have this golden pocket right here, which is currently in play. It's a bearish type of Fibonacci. So you want to possibly see some rejection happening in this area right here, okay? On the weekly. This area right here is very crucial for VLO, but if it pumps, right? If it pumps more, where should we look at? And of course, you want to drag it to the most important swing guide that we have right now, which is this point right here. And as you guys can see, it's the same low. The only thing that I've changed is the swing guide, because this is an intermediate swing guide, while this is the more important swing guide for this current price range. As you guys can see, the next point would obviously be this point right here, and I don't think it's necessarily correct as of now, or at least it's not what we should be focusing in right now. We want to take it step by step, right? So there is a possibility of actually pushing up just a little bit more and possibly find resistance on this point right here. How does this theory of actually finding resistance in this area and potentially going back down and then moving up invalidate? It will invalidate itself if we see this kind of price action where we take out this swing guy right here, okay? We find support in what could be resistance up ahead, and then we continue to the upside, okay? This will obviously invalidate the potential bearish Fibonacci that we have right now, okay? So make sure that you pay attention to this stuff. We could also find something like this, where potentially we go above this Fibonacci right here, which we are currently at, right? And we find resistance right here, where we then either accumulate more and go into a consolidation between these two levels, right? Because that's also a possibility before going up or going down. This obviously is still in the cards, but we could also have something similar like this, where we break down, retest this trend line right here, find resistance over here, and we finally go back down to this trend line right here, okay? That's obviously a possibility. And of course, if that's going to be the case, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be buying more VLO. So keep in mind, we have a couple of scenarios right here. If I didn't have any VLO right now, what I will be doing is, let's say that I have $1,000, right? I want to invest $1,000 into VLO. I wouldn't buy more than $200 of VLO at this point in time, okay? Because I want to have enough capital to buy a better opportunities. Because even if I bought last week, right, I will definitely be in a better price than what I get right now, right? Because this week alone, we have moved up quite significantly, right? We have moved up by 50%. So you don't really want to chase these pumps, guys, especially on low caps, because low caps, as quick as they pump, as quick as they can dump as well, right? And obviously, if you have looked at my previous videos, if you guys haven't watched them, make sure that you do, because Bitcoin, I don't believe it's really looking good. Even if we do make a new all-time high, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing right now. So you want to be careful on the altcoins as well, because the altcoins are definitely going to be following Bitcoin. So just keep in mind these possibilities. Of course, you can ladder in a bunch of buys. If you want to accumulate more VLO, maybe you buy 20% of what you intend to invest into VLO, like today maybe, for example, and then you start to drip buy as we go lower, because you need to keep in mind that we currently have these Fibonacci's right here that obviously are in play for the bulls, where even a push, for example, to the golden pocket could ideally take us to this trend lines right here, which I'm still expecting to be filled eventually. So I think that the good buys will be around this area, the most optimal buys that you guys can get as of right now. Of course, you could have got a lot better buys if you got into this earlier on, but when you zoom out, it doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, this is what I'm currently seeing in terms of current price action. And I want to go back on the monthly because I want to show you this. I want you to understand why you should be so bullish on Velo. Okay, if I go from wick to wick, right, from high to low, I want to make sure that I got the right low, right? Yep. What you need to understand is that regardless of what happens right now, when we measure the percentage change, the ROI that we could get from this investment alone, right, from top to bottom, and by maintaining a conservative target, because it is quite conservative to believe, whether you guys believe it or not, to the 618, it's a 14,000%, right? So we have potential for a 144x if we go all the way up to $1.28, okay? And this is from the worst entry that you guys can get, which is by buying right now. Now, let's assume that we go back down, right, to the points that I've showed you before, where we take the same exact approach that I showed you before, guys, and we go from low to high, and we drag down, of course, oops, not this, but our percentage tool, right? Let's say that I buy at the 618, okay, which is not even the most optimal buy, because the most optimal buy will be when price hits this trend lines right here, right? Just by buying at the 618 alone, that would obviously net you a 272x, which is 244%, which is huge. I bet you that you can find these kind of percentages on most of the coins that you guys probably knew before this video. Of course, except a bunch of exceptions that you guys may have known before, but very likely you didn't put yourself, especially if you guys are a newbie, like newbies, I'm probably pretty sure that they haven't seen anything like this right now. But yeah, look at what the percentage could net you, right? If you buy the first trend line right here, it will net you a 33,000%. The second trend line will net you a 40,000%. So a 400% gain, which is quite a lot, right? You can obviously multiply it by every dollar that you put in. Let's say you put $1, you could probably get $400, assuming that it gets up to there out of your investment. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a more conservative target if you believe that this is not a possibility, even though look, in an alt season, we can actually expect this kind of targets to come in, especially during an high euphoria market. I don't think it's necessarily opium, but if you guys want to be extra conservative and, I don't know, you maybe don't think that it's going to get there, or maybe you don't think that, I don't know, right? But let's assume that you want a more conservative target. What we are going to do right now, which I could obviously even do from this point right here, but let's just take the last bullish monthly that we had, right? During this downtrend, okay? And I'm not even going to be considering the wicks. I'm just going to be considering, of course, the bodies, okay? The candle bodies. We're going to do the same exact process, which is dragging my final target to the 618, which in this case will be 38 cents, right? 38 cents Velo, and we're going to do the same exact process as shown before. If you were to buy right now, it will net you a 4,200%, which is definitely not bad, right? And you're obviously being very conservative, in my opinion. I believe that this is completely realistic, and I'm looking at these charts the same way that I look at every other chart. The upside is huge, and you're buying at probably what I think is the not so optimal buy. Of course, when you zoom out, it doesn't really matter, but if you are going to get better opportunities, look at how the percentage obviously changes. And by being extremely conservative, I'm not even looking at a $1 VIL, which, to be honest, I do believe it's a possibility, but to each its own. If you buy at the 618 of the bullish Fibonacci, it's an 8,000%. If you buy at the first trend line, it's a 10,800%. If you buy at the second trend line, it's a 1,200 and 544%. So huge gains nonetheless. It all depends on which approach you may want to take. You may even sell a portion at this target right here, which is possibly something that I'm considering doing. And then obviously ride some to this point right here. Potentially, you don't know, in case you want to hold this for the very, very long term, you could even potentially look for a new all-time high, but I am not expecting this to happen necessarily during this whole season. So if you guys enjoyed this video, this is all. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe with notifications on, leave a comment, make sure that you share this video, guys. With that being said, this is all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.